Hello and good morning, everyone. So today we are with Yasmina. So it's a great pleasure to be with you. Such a beautiful inside out soul and such a lovely meeting today in this beautiful morning. And we are starting with a very important subject today, subject on addiction on social media. So I am sure that 90% of everybody who is watching just now is addicted to social media, the way how I am as well. So we wake up and we sleep with our mobiles, and that's not correct. And just me now, so today she will tell me a little bit more on why is it not correct and how we can, what we can do and how we can do to prevent that. First of all, I would like to present you she is someone that I met in a hotel where I was working and doing wellness retreats. So later on, we did some retreats with Yasmina together. And Yasmina is a very, she's a powerful, very powerful personality. Although you see a very sweet woman, she's very hardcore inside. She is founder of Evolve Coaching, lifestyle coaching, and she is a professional certified trainer at Kingston Business Academy. So later on and during her whole life, she traveled the world to enrich her knowledge on different modalities on that complemented her psychology degree, on mostly on mental health, NLP, mindfulness, and meditation, which is her focus today. So we want to hear a little bit more from you, Yasmina. So, and then now we want to see, or we are inspired by your vision and passion, how to provide people to unlock their potential, their great potential, and to fulfill themselves so that they have the best possible life ever. So with that, without further ado, I would like you to start on this so important subject today. So why social media and why mental health? What inspired you to do this topic?
Firstly, thank you, Viara, for such a beautiful introduction and very thorough introduction. So first, I study psychology. As you already said, everything regarding the well-being and mental health is very, very big interest of mine personally, because it helped me develop myself to the person that I am now and to the person that I am becoming. Today's topic is very personal to me, like 90% of people, as you said, and I'm sure that you agree as well, because of the addiction that I used to have. And still, I'm in a process of recovery, or actually in a process of maintaining my focus outside of the social media. When it started at the age of 12, I think, around 12, when I got my first big computer, and then the internet was, thanks God, still very slow. So I was unable to spend that much time on social media. But I learned how to read when I was 3. By the age of 5, I was already reading books by myself. At the age of 12, the internet started, right? So I was still reading and I enjoyed the reading. But by the age of 19, when I started the university, it really affected my performance, my love towards the things that I used to do, love towards books, love towards the activities that were actually, let's say, a sport activities or any type of other joyful thing. And just not recently, a few years ago, when I started even deeper journey of self-discovery, I understood that I have to do a further investigation in how much social media can affect our mental health, our performance, our level of happiness and joy. And actually, my whole journey started with a social media detox. It was a retreat, yoga, mindfulness, meditation. And for 6 days, it included not social media, all technology. We did not have phones. We did not have anything. We were waken up by a big gong in the morning. And that 6 days changed my life completely. I remembered I actually gave my phone to the retreat guys to lock it, because some people kept the phone to take pictures, but I knew I will not be able to do that. And this decision changed my life fully. I remembered on the way back, first 2 days, I had zero need to take the phone. You know, like you go on a flight, you don't, the habit gets rooted out of your system. Later on, as the time did pass by, it got reinstalled again. So now I'm practicing 1 to 2 days of social media detox weekly, as much as my work life is actually allowing it to me, even though it might not go together with the marketing strategies. And this is my current dilemma. What do you think about that, by the way? The marketing and social media, does this make you, does it make it easier for you to focus on yourself or less easy? For me, it's a
I
bit
think challenge, isn't it? So because of you being as a independent entrepreneur, you want to do so much stuff, and everything now happens online because everybody says if you are not online every day, people forget about you. And what do we do? So how do we balance? That's why I think this is very important for us to start building the habits, as you said, in a way.
yes.
But you could tell me a little bit better, perhaps on this retreat, the way how you did it. Perhaps this could be a guideline for us here.
So the retreat itself was connecting to nature, connected to yourself. It was only books. We were barefoot for a week. It was natural food, no caffeine. It was very, very going inwards type of experience. And before that, I didn't do meditation. I didn't do yoga. I didn't do anything regarding the mindfulness. And this combined with technology detox, but I think this was the most powerful experience out of it, because I was only forced to be in a moment. In few days, the thoughts and it just disappears and you're there fully. So this one actually gave me not a taste, but gave me a full experience of how much disconnecting from that constant scrolling can actually help us connect to ourselves.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing lighter version, by the way, because let's say if I'm doing 1 day without the social media, I'm actually doing it without social media, not without GPS, because that would mean that in Dubai, I would be inside of my house, whole day when I want to have activities. So I have a separate phone, which is a bit, funny. I have a separate phone, which I only use for GPS or for calls.
Yeah.
So if I would like to meet friend or go to the beach or something, I combine it with the social media detox. So I can still actually do things that are good for myself, bring myself in a moment for that retreat a bit.
Amazing. That's a very good tip. I think that it's a good tip to have, and maybe some old version phone.
It was 200 dirhams phone. Like it was a very big investment in my mental health, especially when we are entrepreneurs. For when we are doing a lot of things or most of the things by ourselves, there's a constant messages on WhatsApp, constant texts on Instagram, and this does something very damaging to the mind, which is it disbalances our focus. It fragments our attention to constant stimuli, which is not normal state of being.
I see.
I don't know, have you heard it? But how social media is designed is actually the model has been taken from the casinos. So with giving you a random stimuli, you never know when it's going to be a notification, or you never know when you will receive a message. And these random stimuli actually kicks in your dopamine level 400 times, which is a little bit less than a cocaine does. So it's actually a very, very, very powerful drug.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it actually creates the chemical that is as a very powerful drug. Now, giving this to children or to teenagers when their mind is already just developing, it's very deteriorating towards their focus and towards their ability to enjoy anything that is boring, routine, smell the flower and enjoy the flower. It doesn't
Absolutely.
give the same satisfaction.
Yes.
And it creates this addiction. It is
Yes.
actually an addiction
Yes.
on the answer, addiction on the, like, will someone answer our message? Will we get likes and posting
Yeah.
about our everyday life? And worst of all, it creates anxiety and severe anxiety and a feeling of dislike
Yeah.
if someone doesn't, as well as comparison with the people that are putting highlights of their life. So when we compare our everyday life with the highlights of someone's life, or
Yeah.
even not a real highlights of someone's life, we can never match that. So the feeling of inferiority, loneliness, insecurity is inevitable.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And so how much you would say that it's social media is beneficial? In
So
what extent a day social media will be beneficial?
for the young, I think it needs to be controlled by the parents on few hours, and depending what kind of content they are actually putting the focus on. For ourselves, for adults, if we actually put our attention to a content that can motivate us, like in our case, because we're in a similar industry, it can be a well-being or mindset or something that is motivational or entrepreneurship or anything like that, then it's a very individual thing. For me, I think 2 hours a day, because I work as well online and I communicate with people and I answer messages and I have to have calls, but not 2 hours a day. Maybe half an hour, in a few timings, like morning timing, but not straight in the morning,
Yeah.
because the first 1 hour is very important, not before going to sleep. So it is
Yeah.
very, very, very important how to manage this. And what do you do before? What do you do after? So it's a bit of individual designing thing. Depends what do you do.
But we are talking here about the social media only, like 2 hours dedicated time for Insta, Facebook, whatever you have there, Twitter, so all the social channels, right? So 2 hours doesn't include your interaction with people, your interaction with customer, your interaction with the businesses, etc.
I would make it all if I would be able to.
Oh,
Everything in
really?
those 2 hours.
Oh,
Yes, I know it sounds tricky, and it is. That's why a different timings throughout the day. So morning, afternoon, so you still get to answer the messages, answer the emails.
okay.
For me, let's say educational courses or online courses or something that I would listen on YouTube that is connected to my
Yeah,
work or science. I don't put this in a same box, to be
I
honest,
see. Okay.
because it's
Done.
something that is, it's like not like reading a book, but it can be audio book, let's say. So
Right.
it's not even a social media. That is in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has a different effect. It doesn't have this constant scrolling,
Yeah.
dopamine kick effect.
I see. Yeah, it's mostly the interaction with people, customers, businesses, or people that are interested into your work. Mostly interactions through the various social media channels, and also through the uh, instant messaging platforms like
Yes.
Messenger, WhatsApp, etc. Right?
Yes, I
Okay.
still catch myself sometimes, like I catch myself scrolling because w- there is something I'm not sure that you're familiar. I'm not sure. Are you familiar how many people in the world actually has ADHD? And
So
ADHD, it's very, very, very common. Now, I don't have statistics, so I'm not going to say anything, but it is very common, especially today. So I am one of the people who actually discovered recently or understood and then got confirmed that I do have ADHD.
yeah,
Now, this is can be considered a disorder, but it can also be considered as a very, very good and powerful tool if you understand how to use it, because the ADHD, besides the ability to shift the focus from one thing to another,
yeah,
or not being able to focus on one thing, has the hyper focus
yeah,
thing of like hyper focus part of it.
yeah,
And hyper focus is actually emerging for hours in a single activity or thing with a huge creative energy and with a huge expression ability.
Okay.
It also has, the ADHD brain has a naturally lower dopamine than a linear call, than a regular brain.
Yeah.
So this gives few advantages and few disadvantages. The disadvantage part is that the regular routine is not giving enough stimuli for the person to do that on a daily basis. So the regular routine, whatever it is, a dishwashing, you have to make yourself do it, or even regular exercise, or any type of same things.
Yeah.
But when there is something extremely stimulant, right, gives extremely huge amount of pressure, or that, you know, when you have a short time to do something, or when there is a severe danger or like severe problem that needs to be solved, this dopamine high that happens actually makes the person with the ADHD to be able to handle the huge amount of stress easily. It doesn't make them stressed, it makes them hyper focused.
Okay.
And this is a huge ability. However, the hyper focus can go on addiction, it can go on social media, can go on gaming, or because this is something that gives a huge amount of stimuli in a short and gives this illusion of high dopamine. So a lot of children that you see that are addicted to games, a lot of other adults that are spending the whole day on internet or on watching a TV show, it is actually because of this thing. And when I understood that this is what it is with my brain as well, and because as I started to learn about it, as I started to have some clients with ADHD and read some literature, I recognize, you know, I recognize the child self, I recognize and understood the adult self, and then the need for actual social media detox, regular, increased in my understanding from how much this will benefit to my creativity, to my productivity. And it does. So now sometimes I do even, and you know that sometimes I do a staycation. So I do a staycation and I turn off the phone. So I pretend to be on a vacation and I actually let the creative juices flowing for knowing this. Because when we don't know something, it can be very harmful for us because we do not know how to manage it.
Yeah.
But the moment when we actually understand it, we can implement solutions to it and understand. So that's one more of the reasons why so much passion towards social media detoxing from my side, because I know how it affects productivity, how it kills our dreams, because we can sit and dream and Google about it and scroll about it, but if we do not actually make the action and do the work, this is not going to happen. We can have all the potential in a world, but it is still not going to happen.
Yeah. So you mentioned before, you mentioned self-awareness. So tell me a little bit, how does this focuses on social media and mental health? So how do we maybe improve having the awareness a little bit higher degree, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know already that how much mindfulness helps us to be in a moment, how much breathing techniques and meditation techniques, also NLP can help with reconstructing our belief system. It actually makes us be in a moment, be more aware of what we are doing, how we are doing. And with this, it makes us more able to remove myself because I'm talking actually about me to remove ourselves from this huge amount of stimuli and bring ourselves in a moment. For me, it feels literally as if I am, there's a huge amount of I cannot even explain, like the energy coming to me, and then I kind of remove myself and okay, I'm going to focus on one thing. And it takes practice. It doesn't matter, are you a regular person or do you have ADHD? It takes practice doing this on a daily basis, reminding yourself more and more, and then your focus sharpens. And the more focused you are, the more you understand of what you need. Maybe for me, it's meditation. For someone, it can be extreme physical activity,
Yeah.
or for someone can be walking a beach. It can be a combination of all of that. There is no one thing fix all, or one thing help all.
Yeah.
And this is why I emphasize self-awareness and self-understanding, because you will know yourself in the best way possible by observing, yourself. And at the same time, I will know myself, and we can give each other tips, or we can give each other observations, or suggestions of how to improve something. But in the end of the day, when we are fully aligned, we know the best. And this is why the self-awareness, I think, is important.
Yeah, and I can tell you also from my point of view. So let's just to give you an example. So when I figure out that the meditation musics or whatever it is suggested to do, it's very boring to me, and then I find myself a way with just for example lying down the floor. So this is my favorite, by the way. I don't like to sit for meditation. I like to lay down on the floor, have a mindful breath work, in the same time practice my breathing, and also I was listening always to some kind of a upbeat lo-fi music, similar to the one that you have in trance music.
Yeah, trance.
So that reminded me on my teenager years, and how beautiful it was there, all the life that we had, and when we were studying, etc. And that takes me to another level, and it's not that something that the gurus are recommending, but that works for me. And this is something, for example, as you said, so find your way of being alert and aware, sharpen your focus, go back, find your way, even though it's not the prescribed one, and see what works for you, right?
Exactly, yes, because not everyone are here to be gurus, and not everyone are here to live that lifestyle. There is so many different countries, so many different cultures, so many different habits that we have. So it's kind of tailor-made. And since we cannot tailor-make for I don't know, like for so many billion people, I think it's the best thing to teach or inspire someone how to tailor-make something for themselves. Let's say for me, when I lay down, if I will do it for long, I fall asleep. Doesn't matter which. and I want to, so I do it before sleeping. That way, the other parts of the day, I'm doing my best to stay seated, just to stay awake, because I would be sleeping like 10 times a day, and that's again counterproductive for me.
Okay, great. So tell me some of your best practices and tools to disconnect from the social media addiction, because the 90% of us are very much connected and addicted. So give us the best tools.
So, funny enough, there's apps that prevent your time. Like you get the app to actually remove yourself from social media, which is funny but effective, because you can lock a certain apps throughout the day. You can open it, unlock it only at a certain timing, so you cannot physically access it actually until you remove the app. That's one of the good ones. And also, if you
what is that?
I have to, because I'm not using it anymore. I don't need it anymore, but I'm going to send it to you. So that's what I was using 2 years ago. Like there.
So it's a good tool for someone like me that is starting with it.
Yeah, it is I'm going to send it to you so you can share it maybe with
the post,
who are listening. Yes, under the post. So that one, and also I have a small reminders in terms of alarms to be in a moment, or to be beautiful, or I even record myself and put it on an alarm. And basically what does to me, it does that I have this, if I don't remember, I have this tick that reminds me, be present, be present.
I see. And in your calendar, you mean? Or as a
yes, on a phone, because most of the things it's happening on a phone. So you get a message on yourself, hi, go run, go have a physical activity, go dance. I love dancing. Music, I have it downloaded, so it's still, it's, or connecting to myself in any way.
Great. That's a great tip, just to have a reminder on your calendar, and also alarm. I think you could also tailor make your alarm, right? So with the music and with the voice, whatever you said, you mentioned. So I didn't do it myself, but did you? So it's basically you customize your alarm with your name, with your voice, and then
Yes, and I also customize it with a different music for the wake up.
oh,
So I wake up with a certain song, with a certain like
amazing.
message, with morning beautiful or that. So
Amazing.
yeah, I customize my alarms
Going to
because I
try this
believe that
tonight.
this is what we instill. Yeah, I'm making a reel of it, so it's gonna.
Ah, I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I will. I'm doing that. Like I'm
Thank
doing
you
that.
so much. It was amazing. So I know that this should be a very short and sweet session. So it was
Yes.
amazing and great insights that you've given us. So we will post a little bit more on your favorite tips and tools or apps under this. Anything else that you want to tell us before we close the session to inspire us for the day, to on our journey of getting dissociated and removing addiction of social media?
Well, nothing else on that topic. I mean, I think we already said a lot, but I would just love to invite people to become more aware, invite everyone to become more aware of importance of the social media influence or the detox. I think we might have a longer session on this, and then maybe if people are interested, we might actually have a longer question and answer session, and then we will actually going to say much more about it. But I think like this, with it's perfect.
Okay.
Maybe you have something to close.
Great, great. So yes, definitely I'm going to start from tonight. So first of all, I will check out how to customize my alarm, because I didn't think about that.
Yeah, even few hours,
Yeah.
you can easily customize it.
Yeah.
Like there, especially it took me some time to understand on iPhone. I used to do it on Samsung, but now it's very, very easy. So you wake up with what you want to wake up with, instead of that ugly sound.
Yeah,
where
then the calendar, I'm going to put some reminder, make break or something that's similar to that.
At least few hours, maybe 2 hours before sleep, and first 1-2 hours after the waking up. This is crucial.
Then I'm going to find out the apps that you told me, or you are going to share with me, or
I will share with you.
So, and I think that, yeah, so just keeping my routines of alertness, awareness, meditations, practice, whatever makes me happy, even for 5 minutes a day, or perhaps with a calendar, something that I could customize around that, together with the being alert, and then regaining the focus through some kind of a meditation or awareness.
Looking forward to hear how it is, how it did help you or affected you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and
Thank
have
you.
a lovely and successful and social media less day.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.